Rita Repulsa?
No, it can't be.
Welcome into Box Office Quarterbacks. I am Jeff. That's my friend Ahmed. We have been waiting a little bit, Ahmed, to do the episode we're talking about today, which is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, the 30-year anniversary special of the OG Rangers. And if you want to know how much Power Rangers really mean to me and Ahmed, you could go back and watch our Jason David Frank episode. But this special is a love letter to the fans, I would say. And how I described it in our group chat a little while ago, Ahmed, is this is a special that only OG fans, I think, can love. What did you think of this?
No doubt. I mean, only the OG fans can look past the cheesiness of the acting, the clear CGI, overuse of technology. But I would argue that it's also a love letter to Tui Trang. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but the Yellow Ranger, Trini. I mean, she passed away in 2001, and I mean, she wasn't my favorite character because I don't relate to the Yellow Ranger or the Pink Ranger for that matter. But it's still like I know how much she meant to a lot of people, and just the fact that this was a clear love letter, coincidentally released out of nowhere, but on the heels of Jason David Frank's passing, and he's like barely mentioned. His character is barely mentioned, and according to IMDb, that was because he was trying to distance himself. But if that was the case, then why did it still take nearly 30 years to make this movie? What were they taking acting classes? Clearly, they weren't.
They were not. Yeah, so they did, like Ahmed said, start production on this before Jason David Frank's passing. And there is a tribute to him at the end of this, and I thought it was a beautiful tribute, to be honest, with just archive footage of Amy Jo Johnson playing the guitar and all of them around listening. I thought that was very, very touching. But there's only so much you can do with somebody who doesn't want to be a part of the special. I did think that they got very creative in writing out the characters that weren't there, which is Kimberly, Tommy, and Jason, for a variety of reasons, weren't able to be a part of this special. So they used the people in the suits, the stunt actors, like the original show, to kind of write them out. So I like that. I did love seeing Walter Jones and David Yost back as Billy and Zach, even though Billy and Zach aren't the best actors, even 30 years later. I did like the addition of the Yellow Ranger's daughter in here, and she's kind of what moves the story forward. So, what did you think about all the characters we got back?
I didn't mind, the Yellow Ranger having a daughter. I thought that was sweet, and again, it's a love letter to Trini's character, to Tui Trang's character, Trini. Um, and again, all the cynicism that I just expressed earlier, it is nice to see. It is cool to see that Walter Emmanuel Jones and David Yost, who plays Billy, it's David Yost, right? I swear.
David Yost, yeah. I thought it
David.
was Billy Yost too for a long time, but
Well, they are those characters, and it was nice to see them. I'm glad they're still working. I'm glad they still look great. Like they seem like they're in great shape. It was also nice to see Rocky and some of the other OGs in the little cameos. Um, but you know what? Who really surprised me was the actress who played Rita Repulsa. I was blown away by that, and she still sounds exactly the same.
she is the best part of this special. I loved that
I
aspect
I
of
would
it.
rewatch the movie for Barbara Goodson, who plays Rita Repulsa. I would watch it again just for her because I was blown away.
The original actress for Rita did pass away, but Barbara Goodson was the voice dub in the English version, because Power Rangers takes a lot of footage from Super Sentai in Japan. So that's
Mhm.
where the Rita that came from. But Barbara Goodson, man, as Robo Rita, I thought was great. I like that she had her henchman too, which is like Snizzer, and the other one, the bull that I don't remember the name of, but just seeing like people in suits, I thought was hilarious because that was the charm of the original Power Rangers, where it's like we're gonna fight these monsters of the week, and they're gonna get huge at the end of this episode, and we got to get the Megazord to take them out, and we got all of that here, so that was great. I did like seeing Rocky back as well. I just wish this was a little bit longer. It is under an hour, and you're introducing a lot here. The death of Trini, Min trying to take her place, Robo Rita coming back. If you gave me even 15 more minutes, I think it would have just tied a prettier bow on this special.
Agreed. I'm also conflicted in that I like how they were able to tie things together. It seemed very rushed. I was a huge Lord Zed fan. I really liked how he was able to balance out this cartoonish villain, but he was still menacing. Where he
Yeah.
would be the frightening villain, but he was still cartoonish in that you knew he was not real. It was like a cartoonish Freddy Krueger, if you will.
Yeah. It was Fox
and
Kids Freddy Krueger is what it was back in the day.
Fox Kids Freddy Krueger. I dig that. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of wish we could have seen a little bit more. Maybe even Goldar. Some of these OG villains, maybe like little callbacks to them. It just seemed kind of weird that she was gonna go, you know, go back in time. Robo Rita was going to go back in time as her big plot. She was going to go back in time and warn her past self. It's like, okay, we get it. It's meta. That's enough now. Come on, give us something easier
Yeah.
to work with. And then the fact that like she's distracted, get her, and then they just got her. I burst into laughter. Just like that's all they had to do.
Yeah.
Just wait till she was freaking distracted. This whole time they've been wasting their time. They could have just been like, Rita, look over there. Where? And then just stopped her in her tracks. But we would have been done 3 minutes into it.
Like the acting is very lacking in some parts, but it did transport me back into being a kid, that's for sure. Let's get into our favorite scenes, though, Ahmed. What would you say stood out to you the most in this special?
I think the thing that stood out to me most was really just the back and forth they were having with Rita, where she was trying to. Again, this is supposed to be a kids' movie, but it's one of those kids' movies. I don't have kids. I don't have kids.
You have
But
cats;
it's
they're
one of
your
those,
kids, Ahmed.
I have cats. Those are my kids. It would be the kind of film that you would show your child. You would sit down with your child, and you know how some movies, kids movies, they have like dirty jokes kind of hidden away for the adults that are watching with their kids. It was almost like that, except it was a nostalgia factor for them. And I just liked that they were kind of spoon feeding some of the plot points to us. But even then, I still didn't mind it. I just really liked Rita's kind of back and forth, where she's like, "You screwed up. I killed your mom," and it's like, "Ugh, this is dark," but I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, Rita was her showing up to Trini's funeral on the 1 year anniversary of it happening, like they're gathering at the cemetery, I thought was super fucked up. I was like, come on, Rita, what is your deal? You had a whole
Yeah,
year and you picked a day of all days. This girl is 14 years old. Just let her grieve, man. There are some dark
I feel
elements.
yeah, I feel like even Satan would go, that's too much for me. I mean, I know I'm the Prince of Darkness, but I'm not a monster.
Yeah. I would say though that my favorite scene in this whole thing is the Megazord fight, which is super cheesy
Really?
and very over CGI
Yeah.
for the simple fact that Billy, the Blue Ranger, is the one in the front seat now. That's where Jason used to sit, and that's where Tommy would sit when he came in. But I thought it was super cool that we got Billy as kind of the new leader of the team, and I that really kind of warmed my heart there, and it just transported me back. seeing a Megazord take down a big stupid lizard, and I loved it.
They definitely took turns. Zach and Billy took turns being the unofficial leader of the group, and I thought that was really awesome. Um, it's these were two very, like, let's face it, during the original series didn't get maybe that much screen time. Maybe they weren't as popular, and if I'm not mistaken, um, Billy was one of the veteran characters, so it was about time he got his flowers. So congratulations to David Yost for sticking it out there.
Yeah, I love that part of it. Rocky is a cool character, I guess. Stephen Cardenas. He was the Red Ranger in the original Power Rangers movie, which a lot of people forget because Austin St. James left the series over a contract dispute, and then they replaced a bunch of actors when that movie rolled around. So I did like
Yeah.
Rocky. I honestly completely forgot about Kat. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, who is this lady?
Same, same. And then I was like, oh, right, right. She came like very, very much later. She had the shortest tenure, and she was in Power Rangers Turbo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the worst of the movies, where the little kid
Yes,
becomes
I
an
hated
adult
that
Power
kid.
Ranger.
Sorry,
That was
I
bad.
hated that kid so much.
I hated that kid too. But we should rank these movies. There's three of them. Let's just do it, Ahmed. We got. I would say this is the second best. I say Power Rangers, the first movie, is the best with Ivan Ooze. Then this,
Hmm.
and then whatever TV specials that they made, and then Power Rangers Turbo, which was very, very bad and stupid because no one wants to see a bunch of car Megazords fight.
You, I like how it was the top three, and still Turbo was ranked number four.
Fuck
You took the
Turbo.
words right out of my mouth. Fuck Turbo. No, you took the words right out of my mouth. Power Rangers, the very first one from 1995, definitely number one. I don't even remember that movie, and yet I would still rank it the best Power Rangers movie. And it's not for you know not wanting to rewatch it. It's just because I don't know if I could see it with rose-colored lenses again,
Yeah.
unless I was, you know what I mean? It's one of those that you just kind of keep it tucked away. Not there are some movies that you watch whenever you're a kid and then you love it, and then when you're an adult you watch them like, oh, perfect example, Shrek.
Yeah.
That's a very dirty movie. I know I'm going off track. I'm just saying, sometimes leave the past in the past. But I am glad that they made this movie. I don't know if I'd rewatch it again, but it's definitely second best for me.
Yeah. What would you rank it though on our scale?
I'd give it a starter, and that's me being generous because you got to understand there are cheesy moments. I mean, it's cheesy in general. The acting is corny, the lines are corny, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. This is not going to be one of those Oscar-winning movies. Hell, Cobra Kai has better acting than this.
Yes. Cobra Kai looks like a Martin Scorsese movie compared to this. So
Well, okay, let's not go crazy. Well,
it's
no, you know what? You know
night
what?
and
You're right.
day.
I will give it. I will give it that flower. Cobra Kai is able to evoke emotions. The only emotion I was able to, have from Power Rangers Once and Always was laughter. And every little moment, this is going to be awful to say.
Yeah.
But when Min finally says it's morphin time, the first time she says it, the first thought that came out of my head was terrible. Cut, cut,
So
scrap
bad.
the whole movie. It was so awful. I'm like, cut. Sorry, actress who played Min. Just you. It just wasn't for you.
Yeah, like when they're doing the Morphin Grid stuff and it's like pterodactyl and triceratops, and I was like, whew, this is not great. They
No,
could
it's
have
not.
updated that a little bit. But was I was I still intrigued? The 6-year-old kid that used to love this show? Yes, I loved the shit out of it. I think I'm gonna give it, which is surprising, Ahmed. I think I'm gonna give it an all-star with a lot of asterisks next to it because this is an all-star for OG fans only. I know Gerald wanted to watch this with us, and I'm kind of happy he skipped it because I think he just would be shitting all over it if you don't get the original. So for OG fans, this is an all-star. For new fans of the series, like over 10 years old, it's probably going to be a bench because I don't think you're going to appreciate it. It's
And
just,
for
you,
yeah,
go
for
ahead.
people that no, I was gonna say for people that just don't understand the concept of Power Rangers in general, they'd probably even cut it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a great watch. Like I have a lot more respect for my mom taking me to see the Power Ranger movies in theaters after watching this movie. So there's just something about seeing something you love from 30 years later come back.
Yeah.
But I'm happy we got it. If they made another special, I will watch it. If they made like a series with Min, which they kind of set up, I probably wouldn't watch it. But give me another TV movie and I'll be
They're,
happy, I think.
they're if I'm not mistaken, they're gonna come out with Legend of the White Tiger Zord or White Power Ranger on September 4th, 2023, which would have been Jason David Frank's 50th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw that on IMDb.
That's right.
Um, I'm gonna watch that, and not just because I'm a Tommy fan. It's because I'm a fan of the OG, like the 1993, 1996 series. In fact, shortly after we recorded our episode, and if you all haven't watched it, please go check it out again. Um, it was nice to kind of just rewatch it and kind of go, wow, this is so cheesy, but why can't I stop watching it? And it's just
Yeah.
there's just something addicting about it, and it just hasn't been able to be replicated, and that's why when you have this nostalgia factor with these OG actors, it just hits different. I don't think this could work with any other, like another 30 years from now, if they tried to remake Turbo or do a Turbo sequel, it would not work.
Yeah, this is it. This is their shot to do it. I think they landed the plane pretty well. There was some turbulence, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it. Um, Anything else you want to add, though, Ahmed, before we get out of here?
No, I just want to. Actually, I do have something I want to tell you. We are now on the anniversary of our YouTube, right?
Yes.
I just want to, give a thanks to you, Eric, and Gerald for bringing me on. It's been an honor doing these back and forths with you guys. Y'all allow me to do my non sequiturs, and I dig it. Y'all
Yeah.
listen to my nonsense, and it's great. Like I couldn't have asked for a better group.
Yeah, we're happy you're here. I'm very excited for the future of the show. Ahmed is family, as Vin Diesel would say. So he's been invited to the barbecue at the end of the movie. So that's where we are. But we'll be back, Ahmed. We got some stuff to talk about. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and a whole bunch of fun stuff. But I'm Jeff. He's Ahmed. This has been our Power Rangers Once and Always episode. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon.